Okay, hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me and if you can hear me, if everything is looking good, please do message in the chat that everything is looking good. Then we'll start today's session. Today's session is definitely focused on people who are looking to do very well in the examination. This is basically looking at people who are targeting 99 plus in the examination. So do let us know if you can hear me, if you can see me, everything, if all the technical details are working correct. Ayush is saying hi sir, all good. Hi Ayush, how are you? Praneeth, hi Sudhanshu. I hope all of you are preparing well for the examination. Do let me know if you have started taking mocks, and also let me know if you are facing any issues, if you are feeling demoralized or if you are feeling nervous about any particular thing. It can be either about your preparation or about any particular topic or about your mock scores. Anything is fine. I'm here to help you out. So normally when people target a good percentile that most people target is 99 percentile. Anybody who is scoring around say 85, 80 to 85 also feels that if they put in the effort, they should be able to come close to 99 percentile. And in my opinion, that is a realistic target, that is a slightly ambitious target, but that is a target which will motivate you. It wouldn't really intimidate you. For example, if you are batting first in cricket, if it is a 20-over match, then a target of say around 180 is a good score. If you are batting first, you would try to target say 180 or 200. 200 might seem like a slightly high score, but if you have that benchmark set for yourself, then you will be able to pace your innings also better. Similarly, in CAT, I think 99 percentile is slightly on the higher side, but it is a good target to have. And if you prepare well from now on, you can come very close to it. And for some people, they can actually beat 99 percentile also. Okay, Saurabh Joshi is saying trouble in VARC mock scores. Saurabh, one of the things that you should remember is that in VARC, the most important aspect is reading comprehension. If you focus on improving in reading comprehension, if your concepts become better at reading comprehension, then the results will follow even in verbal ability. Because for you to improve in reading comprehension, you should know why a particular paragraph is phrased in a certain way. You should know what is the important line in a paragraph. And if you are looking at a passage, you should also be able to figure out how two consecutive paragraphs are combined. In one paragraph, the idea will be introduced. In the second paragraph, they might expand on the idea. And in the last paragraph, they might either give something as a summary, or they might add some more points which will put in doubt whatever they actually said in the first two paragraphs. So there are multiple different types of passages that are involved. But if you are able to understand the importance of every line in a reading comprehension, because reading comprehension passages are written by very good people. The passages that are selected are written by extremely good authors. So every line, every word that they are using, there is a meaning to it. There is a purpose to it. And students who become very good at reading comprehension will be able to identify what every line is actually adding. Now, once you are able to do that, you automatically become very good at parasummary. You automatically become very good at parajumbles. You will figure out that, okay, the two lines that are given or the two sentences that are given have to be spoken in a particular order, or they have to be written in a particular order. That you will start identifying better as you keep getting better at reading comprehension. So the most important thing for you to focus on is improving in reading comprehension. If you improve in reading comprehension, you will become very good at verbal, and automatically the VARC section scores also will improve. Okay guys, please do like the stream. I want to get to at least 100 likes before the stream ends. So we'll start today's session now. If you are looking at the scores, I'll give you the rough scores that are needed for you to get 99 percentile in each of the three sections, that is in quant, in verbal and in Lrdi. And I'm going to look at mostly CAT 2021 because the pattern of examination is expected to be very similar this year as compared to last year. So if you're looking at 99 percentile in verbal ability, you would require around 45 marks. You would require around 45 marks out of 72 marks to get 99 percentile in verbal ability. If you're looking for something like say 97 percentile in verbal ability, you need 38 marks. And if you're looking at 95 percentile, you will need around 34 marks. 34 marks in VARC would essentially mean getting around 11 to 12 questions correct. You will also have some questions in the verbal ability section which will be theta questions, where there is no negative marking, and you might enter a particular pattern or a particular number and you might get it correct. So if you are focusing on getting 11 to 12 questions correct with a very good, with a very high level of accuracy, then you are definitely on about 95 and getting close to the 99 percentile in verbal ability. If you're looking at DILR, to get 99 percentile last year, you would need to get 34 questions correct. You would need to get 34 marks. 34 marks in Lrdi is slightly tricky. And that is one of the reasons I would recommend people to not put a lot of hopes on Lrdi. If you do well in Lrdi, that's very good, but you can't pin a lot of hopes on Lrdi. Because for example, to get 99 percentile, you need 34 marks, that is you need to get 11 questions correct. If you have to get 11 questions correct in Lrdi out of 20 questions, you have to definitely get 2 sets correct. One of them should involve a 6 question set and the other one can be either a 4 question set or a 6 question set. Now, what are the things that you should do to improve upon this? One on silly mistakes. And this is very important in Lrdi, where your focus, your concentration levels should be very, very high. Because if you make one small mistake, you'll be losing an entire set. And suddenly from getting 11 questions correct, you'll be getting say 5 or 6 questions correct. And a lot of hopes will collapse. That is one thing. The second thing is don't miss out on the theta questions. In Lrdi, this will be very, very important because the number of theta asked in Lrdi, in general also in any section will be around say 25% of the questions, 25 to 30% of the questions will be theta questions. So if you actually understand the question, even if you are not able to solve it completely, you will still have a good idea about what the particular answer can be. For example, in one of the sets that we solved last year, I think in CAT 2020, there was one set about a tournament, about high-low. There was some game that was being played where different rounds were asked. Like 2 people play this game across multiple rounds. And there were 2 or 3 theta questions where you have to guess which round a particular event happens. That is, for example, you are asked to guess, okay, in which round did a particular person win for the first time. Now, you know that definitely when you look at the passage, you know that the number of rounds that were actually played is 6. And the question essentially was asking who won it for the which round did this particular person win for the first time. You know that a good guess would be either round 2 or round 3. It would probably not be round 6 because that is too far away. It would probably not be round 1 because if this person won in the first round itself, that question will not be asked. So even without really solving the set, which is what I actually did, I tried to solve it, but I couldn't make a lot of progress. I could get some theta questions correct. And this strategy is something that you should definitely use. You should use it in all the sections, but it is a lot more important in Lrdi. Because in verbal, the chances of you actually getting that guess correct in questions like parajumbles is very difficult. You will be given 4 questions. There are 4 factorial, that is 24 possible theta answers. You will definitely enter something, but it is quite likely that you are getting it wrong. But in Lrdi, in some of the sets, you will be getting theta questions where you can make a good calculated guess and get it correct sometimes. Guys, we have close to 50 people who are watching this stream live. Please do like the stream. And finally, if you're looking at quant, to get 99 percentile in quant, you need to get 34 questions, 34 marks. So again, you need to get around 11 questions correct. This, especially for engineers who are going to put in a lot of effort, should not be very difficult. It just means that there are a lot of people who are underperforming on the day of the examination. Many people that I know spend a lot of time solving quant questions. But if they are not doing very well in mocks or in the actual on the day of the examination, it is possibly because they are not spending that time in an efficient manner. Probably they are not preparing with the right topics. Probably they are solving questions from the same topic, maybe difficult questions from the same topic, which is probably not as useful. Probably they are making silly mistakes. Probably they are taking too much time in answering these questions. So you should be able to understand why you are not scoring very well in quant, especially given you spend a lot of time in answering quant questions. Okay, let me answer a few questions and after that I'll come back to this. Ayush is saying the more my quant score is motivating me, online my DILR score is demotivating me. One of the things that you should know is that in DILR there will be one set which is definitely easy. That you can always take it from me. If you don't believe me, you can actually go to the CAT previous papers. We have all the CAT previous papers from 2017 onwards across all the slots. Download all the PDFs and you look at all the Lrdi sets from a particular slot. you will figure out that in every slot there is at least one set which is very easy. So you should know that in DILR you are going to get one set which most people, if they are holding their nerve, if they are not very nervous, and if they are holding their composure, they will be getting it correct. So that is one set you have to get correct. So you have to just be very clear about holding your nerves. You should be very calm and composed, and once that set comes, you are going to answer it. In addition to it, you have to get some questions correct, because 90 percentile in DILR, like I just said earlier, is not something which you can be very certain about. Even after the examination, you can never be certain about it. But trying to get out of 60 marks, that is out of 20 questions, trying to get 7 or 8 questions correct is a very good idea. And if you're actually getting, say, 8 questions correct, that is in DILR, if you're getting 24 marks, that itself is going to get you 95 percentile. So that itself is a very good score in DILR. And if you are going to get 8 questions correct, you have to get that one set which is supposed to be easy correct, and you have to get it correct in the first go. You shouldn't spend a lot of time. Then once you have your 4 questions done, which are going to get you 12 marks, you can spend the rest of the time in trying to get one more set correct, or at least some part of the set correct. So in DILR, the crucial aspect is identifying that easy set and trying to get it correct as soon as possible. Radhika Agarwal is saying, sir, mock scores were increasing slowly and reached 84, but then suddenly dropped to as low as 27 on the last 2 marks. What should I do to overcome? I think it is just psychological. Don't worry about it. Maybe take a break. Maybe take a break for a week, 1 week or 10 days. Just focus on your areas of weakness. Don't let it bother you too much. Don't get into any sort of paranoia that your scores have plummeted. That won't happen like that. Because your mock scores have something which I call as an average and as a standard deviation. The average is basically roughly where you would score, an interval of say 10 to 15 marks. You know that, okay, this is where I'm going to typically score in my mocks. And your standard deviation is basically how volatile your scores are. Sometimes they are doing very well, and sometimes they are doing very poorly. You're doing very poorly. Now, as the examination comes closer, your average has to go up. That is, you should keep scoring slowly more marks on an average. And your standard deviation should decrease. That is, the fluctuations in your score should decrease. This is what an ideal preparation looks like. At the start, when you're just taking mocks, the standard deviation will be very high, so you should not worry about it. Don't let it bother you. Don't develop some sort of a phobia. Just take a break for maybe a week or 10 days. Just work seriously on your areas of weakness, and then again come back and take a mock. YouTube Premium is asking, should we attempt VARC first or RC section first in verbal part? So typically, what I do is I first go with, because VARC is the first section, your mind is very fresh, you're not tired, you are actually a little excited to answer these questions. So you go ahead, and I at least first focus on an RC. I try to figure out which is the easiest RC, and I try to get one RC done, so that then my brain feels slightly more calmer. It knows that, okay, one RC at least I've finished. Now I can solve some VARC questions, some verbal ability questions. Because when your mind is fresh, then it is easier for you to read the passages. So when I first attempt a VARC section, I try to get at least 2 RCs done. After that, I try to give my brain some break by solving some verbal ability questions. Then I again come back and solve another RC. Then I go back, I finish the verbal ability questions. By this time, I'm very tired because I have solved 3 RCs and all the verbal questions. There will be 1 RC remaining, and I don't have a lot of time remaining at this point of time. So what I do is I quickly browse through the RC, try to get an idea about what it is about, and then I try to answer the questions just based on what little I have read. Pranit Jain is saying, sir, I am behind schedule and only able to attend lectures and give tests. Only lectures and tests are sufficient. I think only lectures and tests are sufficient, but definitely take 1 mock every weekend, or at least 1 mock every 2 weeks. Other than that, I think it should be okay. Solving tests and watching videos should be okay. Because when we give the test, we always, when we give any video, we always give a test at the end of it. Because we want people to solve questions in the test format so that they get confidence about what they have learned. We don't want them to just learn passively. We don't want any Cracku student to just watch videos and not solve anything on their own. Because if you just watch videos, even though you feel that you have understood something, you will not feel confident. You will gain confidence only if you actually solve these questions. Then you feel that, okay, I have understood it. Deepak Lohani is saying, sir, I'm a working aspirant. How to study quant? Because quant takes more time. Quant takes time. Unfortunately, nothing good in the world comes easily. So you have to put in the effort. You have to start. The easiest way to solve it is first download the formula PDFs. We have a PDF for all the important CAT formulas. So download the CAT formulas across different topics and try to understand how each of the formula is applied. What is the application of each formula? What does that actually mean? And then try to start from there. Then I think you will gain some confidence when you are answering questions. Praveen Chandak is saying, I am getting around 30 marks in VRC from now on. What should I do to improve your score in VRC? Focus on reading comprehensions. Focus on improving your reading speed. Don't become very fast at it, but slowly try to gradually increase your reading speed. Read a wide variety of sources in your free time. Read the websites like The Guardian, Hindu, Indian Express, so that try to read the opinion articles there, so that you form some idea about what is going on in the current affairs in the world right now in current affairs. That is important because when you see a passage in CAT, you should not feel bored. You should be interested. You should have some knowledge about the topic before you actually attempt the passage. Then you will be able to concentrate better. Visesh Mittal is saying, sir, gave CAT free mock 1 today. VRC was disastrous, scored in negative, never happened before me, but still scored around 95%. And that's okay. So for people who don't know, we have 3 CAT mocks completely for free. You have to just Google search Cracku free CAT mock. All of these free mocks have video solutions and they are very useful, taken by thousands of people. So you should definitely take it. Visesh Mittal, don't worry, sometimes it happens. Like I mentioned, what you have to look at and what you have to focus on is the trend. You should not look at individual data points in your mock scores. You should look at the trend. How are you performing? Are you improving? Are you not improving? Have you stagnated anywhere? Those are things that you should focus on. Randeep Jain is saying, I'm not getting how much to attempt to get 99 percentile. I have already mentioned the scores that you need. 99 percentile in verbal, you need 45 marks. That is, you need to get 15 questions correct. Out of 24 questions, you need 15 correct and no question wrong. If you think that you're going to get some questions wrong, you should ideally target 18 questions so that you get, say, 3 or 4 questions wrong. Still, you will come close to 90 percentile. In Lrdi, you need 34 marks. And if you need 34 marks, you need to get around 11 to 12 questions correct. So you have to get both the 6 question sets correct. Then you're going to get 90 percentile. But DILR in general is very volatile. You can never predict how it goes. So don't push yourself too much and then completely collapse. That is not a good idea. Try to ensure that you perform decently in Lrdi and try to score a lot in verbal and quant. In quant, 90 percentile last year was around 34 marks, similar to DILR. So you need to get around 12 questions correct. This is eminently possible. Quant in general is getting easier by the year. You have to just focus on getting your questions, on selecting the right questions, and not getting stuck in any question. If you feel that you're getting stuck in some question, just leave it and go to the next question. Vishal Kumar Vishwakarma is saying, mock when I'm taking, I'm scoring 10 or 12 only, but without clock under the same time period scoring 35 to 38. How to overcome this stress? The only way you can overcome this stress is by taking more mocks, so that you feel your body doesn't make a big deal about taking a mock, or it doesn't make a big deal about looking at the time or how much time is remaining. So your body should be used to that kind of stress on a regular level. If you get used to that stress on a regular level, the stress levels also will decrease. So take mocks very regularly and try to replicate the scenario as on the day of the examination. So sit in a quiet place, don't get disturbed in the middle, just have your laptop with you, don't keep your phone, don't keep anything, so that on the day of the examination also you should not feel out of place. You shouldn't feel that, okay, this is seeming like something I have never done before. You should feel that, okay, I've done this multiple times. So this is not something that is very new or very nervous. Kabooter Singh is saying, sir, how to attempt all questions in VRC? One RC is always left. One RC is always left for me also, but I try to ensure that I keep around 5 minutes left when I come to that last RC. So the last RC, I skim through it in a minute or two, so I don't put in a lot of effort. I skim through it, I get some sense, a vague idea about what this is about, what is the author trying to say, and then I look at the questions. Sometimes when I look at the question and when I look at the options, I can get an idea about what the correct option is. But the last RC, my accuracy will not be very good. But the way I look at it, out of those 4 questions in the RC, if I'm getting 1 question correct and 3 questions wrong, even then I'm not losing anything. 1 question correct is going to get me +3 and 3 questions wrong are going to get me -1, -1. So overall I'm not going to get either positive or negative. But sometimes I get 2 questions correct. Many times in the last RC I get 2 questions correct and 2 questions wrong. That is going to give me an additional 2 marks, which again I think is very useful. That is how I look at it. The last RC is not to score a lot. The last RC is just to ensure that if there are any easy questions amongst that 4 questions of that RC, you should get it correct. That is how I look at it. Saurabh Joshi is saying he has given some mocks and he's getting single digit in VARC and all. I'm worried that my CAT data will be screwed because of VARC. Quant being my strength, I get 45 to 50 in most of them. Some of the, I don't want to name which institute, but some of the institutes mocks are deliberately designed to be very difficult. They want to get students to take mocks seriously. They want students to also respect their mocks, because if the mock is very close to the examination and if people are scoring well, they might not respect it. So there are many ways in which people or institutes design mocks, which I don't really agree with. Cracku's mocks, on the other hand, are mocks which we design to ensure that they are very close to the actual exam pattern. We take CAT every year. We have thoroughly analyzed the previous year's papers, at least from CAT 2017. So we know exactly what is the source of each of the reading comprehension. We know, for example, in Lrdi, we know how many games and tournaments questions have come in each of the year in each of the slots. We know what are the different types of Lrdi sets that are asked in each of the slots. We put a lot of emphasis on that. And we try to replicate that in each and every mock of ours. So try to ensure that if you are enrolled to the Cracku mocks, you definitely take all the 15 mocks. And in the 15 mocks, if you are scoring very well and very poorly in verbal, then you have to put in a lot of effort in verbal. Remember what I tell in my streams. If you are doing decently well in all 3 of them, in all the 3 sections, verbal, DILR and quant, then focus on your area of strength. But if there is a clear area and very poorly in verbal, then you have to put in a lot of effort in verbal. Don't put in more time and effort in becoming even better at quant. Focus on your area of absolute weakness. If you have any such section, focus on it completely, because then you will score a lot more overall. How much mocks are necessary for 99.9 percentile? Vinayak Chaturvedi is asking. In general, I meet a lot of 99.9 percentile people on a regular basis. Normally, I see that they take around 35 to 40 mocks. So that, I think on some level is a necessary condition. If you are trying to score extremely high, you have to take a lot of mocks. But clearly that is not a sufficient condition. That is, if anybody is taking 40 mocks, it is not necessary that he is going to score 99.9 percentile. Ritik Gupta is saying Happy Teachers Day to all Cracku team, sir. You are my favorite. Thanks a lot, Ritik. These kind of wishes mean a lot to me, especially when it is coming on the Teachers Day. Rijwan is saying, suppose you have wasted initial 8 to 10 minutes in a Lrdi set and you are getting nowhere. What would be the best approach from there on to at least clear the cutoff? You should remember that to clear the cutoff, you need to get 1 set correct. If you get 1 set correct, you are very close to clearing the cutoff. After that, to get 2 or 3 questions correct. So overall, if you are scoring around 15 to 16 marks, I think you will clear the cutoff. To get 15 to 16 marks, you need to get 1 set correct. That is going to get you 12 marks. And at least hope that some of the theta questions which you have guessed come correct. And getting 1 set correct, even if you have wasted 8 minutes, you still have 32 minutes. The way you have to look at it is, okay, I have 32 minutes remaining on this set. Or if I'm making no progress on this set, I'll cut this and I'll go to the next set. And in general, in Lrdi, what I always do is, I spend the first 3 minutes in going through all the 4 sets. And I try to figure out what is the set that I attempt first, what is the set that I'll attempt second, what is the set I'll attempt third, and what is the set I'll attempt fourth. Normally, my intuition is good, but sometimes I feel that sometimes I make a mistake. And a very difficult set, I might, because I'm looking at it only for a minute, I might feel that it's an easy set. And after the first 2-3 minutes, if I'm not making a lot of progress, I cut my losses. I immediately say, okay, this is a bad set selection. I'll go to the next set in my priority order. That way you're not confused. If you have this kind of a priority order, even if you're wasting the first 2-3 minutes in making this priority order, your mind is not confused. You know that, okay, if you get stuck in any set, you know what set to take next. This way your entire section will not be a disaster. Many times if you don't have this priority order and you start off with a very difficult set, you also feel a lot of pressure on yourself. If you wasted 15 minutes and you are not able to get it correct, then there is a lot of pressure on yourself that, okay, I have wasted 15 minutes and I have 25 minutes left and I don't even know which other set I have to start next. What if I take another set, and that also is difficult. So you don't want it. That is the reason I have this priority order, for which I spend the first 2-3 minutes. Sukhdev Singh has completed the syllabus very long ago. Right now I'm practicing a lot of questions. Joining your crash course batch of 80 days, will it help me for more rigor practice? I think Cracku, the study room is part of the complete Cracku, the crash course that you mentioned, which has a very, very good question bank where you can solve very good CAT level questions. In addition to that, this 80-day batch course will also give you access to the daily targets. Daily targets, in my opinion, are one of the best resources for Lrdi. Additionally, the 80-day crash course will also have a lot of videos which will help you revise all the portions that you have completed. I would say this is a very good course for you. You should definitely check it out. Vinayak Chaturvedi is saying, are you Telugu? Yeah, I am Telugu. Okay guys, I'll take the... Yes, Daman is saying, sir, difficulty level of Dashcat 9 Lrdi was very high according to me. Can you confirm whether that was a difficult test or not, and whether we can expect such questions in CAT? Difficulty level was definitely on the higher side, but not in all. Actually, I don't want to give a lot of spoilers, but there are at least 2 questions, 2 sets, which could have been answered. If you pick the right sets, and if you gave 20 minutes to each of these 2 sets, you will definitely get both the sets correct. There are 2 sets, but 2 sets were definitely easy. Like I always mentioned, in Lrdi, you will at least get 1 set which is fairly straightforward. If you spend some time, you will get it correct. And that is what we replicated even in Dashcat 9. There was 1 set which is definitely eminently doable. There is 1 more set, if you get that logic, you will get it. And that logic is not very difficult if you spend 5-6 minutes logic. And there are 2 sets which I think are slightly on the difficult side. Madhav Kabra is saying, sir, have you seen people getting from 70 odd marks to 120 marks in mocks or exam in the last 80 days? Yeah, I've seen from 70 to 120 is not very difficult. It is not like a huge jump. At least from 70 to 100, I have seen a lot of people. I know personally many people who used to be who were scoring around 70. They made the best use of the last 90 days and they have scored above 100. That I've seen, and I know people personally also. 120 is slightly on the higher side, because 120 would mean I think 99.9. 100 would be around 99. That I have seen, from 70 to 100. Okay guys, I'll answer the last question and after that we'll call it a day. Okay. Deepak Lohar is saying, sir, I'm a working aspirant. How can I use your crash course? So basically the way our crash course works is like this. Okay, the crash course is just starting today. Every day we'll give you, if you enroll to the crash course, every day we'll send you a mail. Early in the morning we'll send you a mail saying, okay, today's assignments are this. The assignment will involve watching a certain set of videos. We'll say, okay, today you have to watch a few videos. Then we'll tell you, okay, today you have to answer these questions. Today you have to take these tests. So every day we give you a schedule. The schedule will have some videos. The schedule will have some questions. You have to just stick to the schedule. And you have to do it. And if you stick to the schedule, you will complete the entire portion along with revision. And there are mocks also designed in the schedule, which we require you to take over. Also get practice of mocks. This is how the crash course works. If you're a working professional, you have to finish the daily assignments at any time during the day. If you're working in the morning, definitely take 2-3 hours out every evening and finish the portion. Finish whatever assignments we have given you for that particular day. This way, you are again not confused. You are not in any dilemma about what to prepare on what particular day. this I think is a very well designed course. It is very useful for both freshers as well as working professionals. Okay guys, that's it for today. Okay, I'll take one more question and after that I'll end the stream. Sumanyu Saraf is saying, is the crash course sufficient if I'm preparing for the first time? And duration of the course. Like I just mentioned, the crash course is a very well designed course. It is very good for working professionals as well as for freshers. For freshers, we teach the concepts right from the basics. So your foundations will be very, very strong. And you also get a good practice. We tell you what are the kind of questions that you have to answer every single day from that particular topic. The way we design the course is that after every video that you watch, we want you to solve a few questions. So that once you watch the video, you feel that, okay, I kind of understood this topic. But once you answer the questions immediately after watching the video, you feel a lot more confident. You feel that, okay, these are actual CAT questions. I've just watched the video and I'm able to answer these questions. You feel more confident. That is how the entire course is designed. It will be very useful for freshers as well as for people who have work ex. Definitely check it out. Okay guys, thanks a lot for tuning in.